Hey, Jesse.
Lindsay, we're fixing to fucking bring down the whole fucking debauchery.
Are we doing it? Is this
Jim
raw?
Jones. It's fixing to
unedited
happen.
content.
It's fixing to happen, y'all. Thank you guys for tuning in. And I'm fixing to drop. Oh, no, Lindsay over here is fixing to fucking drop all the recap on her big ass story for Jim Jones, right?
We have 4 parts, ladies and gentlemen. We worked hard. I worked hard on the research on that.
She did.
Jesse worked hard on the editing because it was a lot.
It's a lot.
It was like, what, 6 hours total?
Oh, my God.
That we recorded on that
bunch.
3-part series?
We're going to fire off.
Yes, we're going to roll that intro real quick.
You hang on this.
This is a new segment called Drunk About Something.
Drunk About Something.
Let's go.
Here we go, y'all. Hang on. Here we go. I feel like we could just sit here with these headphones on for like days.
Y'all, this is going to be raw and unedited, so strap in.
Yeah, I'm not going to edit a fucking thing.
No, this is going to be Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday.
We're halfway through the week.
Yeah.
You're welcome for some hump day content.
Hump day. So we're just going to go straight off raw. And I'm not going to edit a fucking, all the ums, all the all the I.
All the gibberish and kerflunkles.
This is
You're going to get to hear it all.
This is your straightest raw. Thank you guys for following. You're getting the fucking us right here, unedited. I am drunk as fuck, Lindsay. I am sorry.
Welcome to Drunk About Something, ladies and
apologizing,
gentlemen.
but, you know, you can get me. You can get the real me in my fucking... You got some backstory on some things that happened in Jim Jones.
Well, first,
town.
I mean, I did 4 parts right here live in our kitchen. What? You knew about this case. You knew the person and you knew the massacre.
I watched a doc and I was
What
just
did
like,
you
it's not
think
great.
about everything that I
compared.
brought in the middle? Did you have any idea about any of that?
No comparison to a documentary that I watched. That's what I'm
Really?
saying. Yeah, no. I mean, you really brought the full on. I couldn't. It was a bomb, dude, and I was puddled. And I keep saying puddled because I feel like melting underneath of our fucking our little kitchen table. I just feel like melting, dude. Like you really fucked us up, and you had a guest, and then you had...
I had 2. We had the same guest twice. My bestie, Cindy, yes.
And
she brought her silent partner.
Yeah. I mean, he was just like...
But he knew.
Shit.
He knew this
but
case
he knew,
as well.
But he
Yeah.
didn't know. And I didn't know. And we were just like, fuck. And we drank some fucking Flavor Aid at the end of this. So you got a couple of dirt things that you want to talk about. As far as recapping, everything was just horrific.
Well, yeah, because
believe this
like I
human
said,
being.
I could have done a 10-part series on this because there's so much. I listened to 2 very detailed audiobooks by two very great authors. Go back and listen to part 4 where I plug those. And they're amazing. And I literally listened to both of those books simultaneously. I would dedicate a couple hours each day to each book. Because one is literally written by a survivor from the shootout at Port Kaituma, where he was just trying to go home and cover this case. I mean, it was a huge deal.
So let's recap, honestly. Let's recap from Jimba as a young human being.
Right.
All the way up to the point to where you guys need to all look at what we did the 4 parts on. He fucking killed fucking over 900 people. So
literally,
let's start with Jimba.
Himself.
We called it Jimba.
Yeah, because that's what he was called by his mother, Lynetta Jones.
When he's trying to teach people how to do Nazi walks,
Yep.
And
good job paying attention.
And he has on fucking. I keep saying it was a basketball. Team.
It was baseball.
It was a baseball team. I keep saying we're getting the band back together, and he's traveling with his whole fucking entourage.
So he had a loft in his garage.
He didn't have a driver's license.
A garage, in a barn. He had a loft in a barn where he would give sermons and pep talks, and I mean, he literally became. He was a practicing cult leader from childhood. And this was all because he was literally neglected by his parents.
He was getting off on 100%. Being able to get that reception of being able to control people.
When Miss Myrtle, when she came into his life and would take him to sermons at Nazarene, and she believed that anybody other than a Nazarene was the devil, she took him in, but Jim was like, I want to experience other denominations. Yeah. And he would go to their sermons, and he really would just absorb the energy from the crowd.
He knew how to work it.
You're in a very religious time period of life, and that was what he became the greatest showman. I mean, literally.
And build a whole ass fucking theme park of a religion.
Then he goes on and he grows up to be an orderly at a hospital where he's dealing with death.
Right.
And he meets Marceline and he gets her. Like, he just has this charismatic way about him that just sucks you in. So you either get sucked in or you get disgusted and leave. That's literally the energy of Jim Jones.
It's control or get the fuck out.
Or buy. Yeah.
It's control or buy.
It's control or buy. Yeah. You're right.
And you could either feed into his bullshit or get the fuck out. But a lot of people, because of what they were going through at that time in the 60s and 70s, it was just like, we're oppressed. We're going through so many changes. The whole world.
I'm going through changes.
I mean, R.I.P. Ozzy Osbourne.
R.I.P. Ozzy.
And you're going through so many horrific changes in life.
Well, this is okay. So Jim, he grew up post World War II. Mm-hmm. Then you got Vietnam, and then you have the Cold War, and just people. There's veterans, and then you have the oppression of the Black community.
Right.
And he really just fed off of that because, and I say it over and over in the first 2 episodes of this 4-part saga, he did the right thing.
Right. He was riding on the segregation movement.
Really good things for the Black community.
Yeah.
I mean, amazing things that I can't even comprehend.
It was great.
How he made it work.
We were fully on Team Jim at the beginning. Like
Timothy Jones.
First and second episode, we're kind of Team Jim.
Yeah.
We're kind of Jim, and it kind of started getting creepy. It kind of started getting a little scared.
He was upset. He was obsessed with sex, and it was
when
fucking
he moved
weird.
to California.
And I do talk about that. He was obsessed with sex from a very young age because the book just basically says that he lived in a house with very small, thin walls. And
he heard his people
and his mother. His mother took in lovers
and she was
while she was still married.
Yeah.
She was wild. She wore pants and smoked cigarettes in a day and age where you didn't smoke cigarettes and wear pants in public. For a lady. She wasn't a lady.
Speak. He had been through World War I with all the shit that he couldn't even. He was kind of feeble.
He was.
If he was out doing his own thing, trying to support.
He had a gas injury from the in France.
Mommy would bring in some other people and do some dirty stuff, and Jim would partake in listening, and that would be a part of his livelihood as a child. It was so big, his mental developmental stuff.
But
she was kind of a free fucking range, wide open
and
flapper.
And she condoned his audacity. I literally talk about that.
He couldn't do no wrong. He would go into places and steal.
She was spiritual. Yeah. She was not religious. No. She was spiritual and literally had, in her mind, I don't know what she was going through, but she had visions that she was going to raise a great leader. And I mean, honestly, she did. He was a great leader. That turned sour.
Way sour.
Mm-hmm. That milk expired.
Yeah, and then later on when he did his whole commune and turn into communism, and they had to get out of California.
Well, if he had just focused on doing amazing things for the Black community, everything would have been fine, and he would have went down in history as one of the greatest humanitarians on this planet.
If he would have rode the wave rightly. But
it all turns. It all turns.
With my whole perspective on Turn was he was just a nasty ass human being that tried to tie in every woman that he can get his fucking hands on.
And what did I tell you? Like after he met Father Divine, boy, shit went a little south.
Yeah, a little south.
So, and like I said in episode 1 or 2, I can't remember. I am going to deep dive into Father Divine later on down the road.
We need to do a Father Divine.
Because Father Divine's cult goes way back to the early 1900s.
Yeah.
And Jim really coveted the harem that this man created and the theory of the, what did I say? Reincarnation.
Yeah.
And I did not put this in the story because, like I said, I could have made this a 10-part, but I wrapped it up for you guys. But when Father Divine, when he passed away, he was supposedly immortal. But when he did pass away, Jim takes a group of the temple members to Mother Divine, who had, been at first a 21-year-old woman who supposedly the previous Mother Divine's body entered into. The original Mother Divine was a Black woman. Second Mother Divine was a very young white woman.
That's what I was figuring to say. He was like trying to pull in reincarnate human beings and other people that are already incarnated. How do you reincarnate into already incarnated? How do you reincarnate?
Father Divine became a very big influence for Jim.
Lindsay, at this point, I feel like I'm part of you right now.
Okay.
Yeah, this is really happening.
So Jim, when Father Divine passes away, Jim takes a busload of temple members to the estate of Mother Divine and is like, guess what, bitch? I'm now Father Divine.
Yeah.
And you better honor me.
But can I just take
was like,
part of you as you're living and just reincarnate part of you? Can I don't have to take all of you. You can be part of you.
Well, they called it like body jumping.
Right. I just want
spirit jumping, basically.
Give me 50,
spirit jumping.
Give me 50 cents.
Yes.
What the fuck?
Well, that didn't work out because, Jim had literal plans from the time he met Father Divine until his death that, which he had literally named himself Reverend Major Jealous Divine.
Yeah.
Jim had plans from the get-go that he wanted to take over that man's followers.
Right. And you're just using self-control.
The second Mother Divine, she was smart. She didn't allow that shit to happen.
And I believe every conversation that they had was just completely feeding in the control of whatever is in front of you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're speaking and you're like, okay, these people are clapping. And I'm going to say whatever the fuck you can fucking say.
To get the biggest roar from the crowd.
And then also, I'm going to pass the plate.
I'm
going to pass this plate. And you're going to pay this money because my shit is the greatest shit that you've ever seen in your whole fucking life. And that's a dynamic, They literally bring in people to get all their money so they can form a full regime of horrific religion inspiration.
Well, and it's all a facade. Like, he literally made people believe that he was healing people by coughing up cancers or shitting out cancers or cancer, and it's all chicken guts.
Chicken guts.
It's all
fucking.
It's all fake.
Yeah, fakery.
It's performative.
Yeah.
And he learned that by watching other people do the same shit.
Yeah.
Tent revivals come to town that literally promise you'll speak in tongues.
So now he's a prophet. So now he's a full-on fucking prophet.
But he's got
followers and shit.
He's got Patty Cartnell, who's obsessed with him. She wants to fuck him. She wants to be with him. But he's like, no, you're too fat. So what you're going to do is you're going to be my eyes and ears first. You're going to be my eyes and ears.
Yeah.
You're going to be my eyes and ears, and you're going to tell me the information about these people so that I can point them out in the crowd and tell them shit about themselves that they don't think that I know. And then later on, when Marceline's back is broken and I can't do sexy time with her anymore, you are going to be in charge of my fuck schedule, which is going to come later on. And that's more in part 3 when we talk about, we joke about it. It's Jim Jones' deck sessions.
His deck sessions and his fuck schedule.
Yes. And I mean, it's literally called that both in The Road to Jonestown and Raven. It's literally called his fuck schedule. That is not a joke. That is verbatim what he talks about. Or what, what both authors talk about in both of those books. I mean, it's literally mentioned in both books.
And you spent so much time doing all the research on all that. It was just, it blew my mind because I watched a little bit of documentary and I'm not supposed to know what you talk about on your list.
That's a case that we knew about
so
way
famous. Before. Yeah.
I mean,
I didn't know that much in depth.
When you get 909 people to drink to their own death.
Yeah.
I mean,
he built his whole regime in California and then shit went awry. And then he had to move to a third world country. And then
because exposés were coming about the shitty dealings in his church, which were beatings,
his
boxing matches,
pedophilia. That was just tied into everything because Jim had a big ass deck. And we talk about that. It was just like,
and Larry Layton literally gave up 2 of his wives.
Oh yeah,
for the cause, for the Jim Jones cause. You know,
we're not going to play music at the end of this.
No, this is a whole recap session here.
I just
unedited, raw, and uncut.
Any and all of this, if you hear it, check out our past stuff.
Sorry, I don't know what I did there.
We're at unedited, raw.
Yes, unedited and raw.
This is raw. This is us as we go and drunk about
exactly. So when he sends his early pioneers to Jonestown to start, it was an agriculture project. That was literally what it was under, listed in like the books of the Guyanese law. This property is here for an agriculture project. You're going to farm it and cultivate it and turn it into a community, which they welcomed because that would have brought in more money for their
and everything
economy.
Was a great fucking experience until Jim
showed up. So a few years.
I don't want to give away too much because you guys got to check this shit out. You really do.
Well, like I told, like I do mention, in the beginning. Okay, so you got the pioneers. They're coming in. This was supposed to be a 10-year project before people actually moved there. And that didn't happen because Jim Jones couldn't keep his deck in his pants. But okay, so you got your pioneers. They're coming in. They're chopping down this jungle. They're, cultivating the ground. They're burning and they're cultivating and they're trying to get it ready for
sustainable
crops.
For humans to show up.
Sustainable for a yearly, for yielding crops.
Yeah.
Okay. So that alone was supposed to take 5 years, but within 3 years, because Jim couldn't do the right thing, they've just got this influx of people. So the pioneers come, then the settlers come, and the settlers are building. The pioneers are cultivating and planting. The settlers are coming and they're living.
Yeah, which is great. Kumbaya. They're actually thriving.
Thriving.
Until Jim shows up.
And doesn't shut up.
He doesn't shut up.
Never.
Fucking.
Panic.
Full on.
All the time. Day and night.
Concentration camp.
Yes.
His blaring, his preachings
voice.
And his voice all over the loudspeakers. And then you tie
his paranoid, drug-induced catharsis.
And you tie in
over and over again.
You tie in concerned other people that are just like, what the fuck's really going on here? Because this isn't right, and we want to check this out. So they send congressmen over there to them, right?
So you and I were taking a walk yesterday morning.
Yeah.
And we were listening to our own pod because we just want to, we want to critique ourselves, make sure it's good content that we're putting out for you guys.
For sure.
So, and I was telling him, I was like, another thing that I didn't put in the notes is literally right before everybody gets their passport, like the influx is by the hundreds of people getting their passport from this temple to go to Guyana. There was a man whose wife was a devoted follower, and he tells one of the reporters, because he later on, gives a whole story of his experience with this bullshit. So he's saying that his wife is literally giving the temple their personal shit that they're using day to day. It wasn't extra shit that they had.
Real refrigerator.
Their real refrigerator that they used. Their couch that they sat their ass on every day when, he would come home from work.
In the name of Jim Jones.
It wasn't extra shit they had in a storage unit, in a closet, in a garage. This was their things that they used day to day. This woman is literally giving the church their personal belongings that they used on everyday basis. And then he comes home from work one day and she's gone.
Yeah.
She's gone to Guyana.
Yeah. And she really gave everything that she had in her own home.
Yes.
And so did 900 other people.
Right.
900 other people gave everything to go down and see this prophet that is persuade
and live communally.
He's persuaded everybody into believing he's a prophet. And at the end outcome, oh my God, Lindsay.
And I also, I do mention,
you have to hear this shit.
I do mention in episode 2 that he starts his rainbow family, and so his biological son is Stephen Jones. His adopted black son is Jim Warren Jones Jr., okay? Jim Jr. So this boy, when they're living in Ukiah, and they're going to the public school system there. They're living communally, but they go to the public school system. They don't get their own communal school until they go to Guyana.
Right.
So little Jimmy Jones Jr. is going to public school, and he comes home and he tells his dad that he's been called the N-word with the hard R, okay?
Right. Yeah,
and
it was part of a common thing that was happening in their community.
Right, because they moved to California thinking that they're going to be more open-minded, and it was not. There was actually more conservatives there.
Martin Luther King and other people for being like these big spokesmen for change in life. And they didn't have any change in life. They were looking for that change. Jim Jones was supposed to be that.
And he did make some of that happen.
Yeah, he
got over there.
He did.
Yeah.
I support. That's why I was saying we were Team Jim's all the way until right before Guyana. It was just, it started getting
well,
right.
When little Jimmy comes home and tells big, Daddy Jim that, he says, you know what? Fuck them. We're all N-words with the hard R. That's what we are. And anybody that is not can go fuck themselves. So he literally would tell people in his congregation, we're all the N-words with the hard R.
We all heard it.
And he's like, and these are white motherfuckers over here. They're not N-words with the hard. I mean, it's just wild how he just built this narrative and how he just made these people. And if you listen to part 4, where we have some of the people that actually thank this motherfucker as they're dying.
Yeah.
And just the way that he brainwashed them and made them think that they were as one.
Yeah.
They were.
It was like he's bringing
family.
In segregation, religion, and a prophet all together into his control.
And a healer.
Yeah.
But he couldn't heal his wife.
No, he couldn't heal his wife.
He couldn't later on heal himself.
So he banged everybody else. And it was on a book.
And I do mention this as well, but he was asked why all the women that he were banging was only white women. He said because they're not N-words with the hard R.
They're too bougie.
They're too bougie.
Yeah.
So I gotta fuck them to make them better, or to make them
like, I need to teach them something because they feel like they're better than everybody else. So I won't mess with African Americans.
And another thing that I don't mention,
but that was his whole fucking
when they get to Guyana, one of his song leaders, and I don't know if she was just part of the church band or if she was part of the Jonestown Express, who did put out records.
Right.
She was the lead singer, and she was a black woman. Remember how I told you he never messed with black women before
on
that?
YouTube, check out the band.
He got infatuated with this black woman, and Stephen and Jim Jones Jr., who did survive the whole massacre, they said that Daddy Jim Jones, would drug her so that he could fuck her. I mean, this is their quotes. Anytime he wanted.
He was infatuated.
He was drugging this woman. This was bad. This was down in Guyana.
Oh, wow.
And later on, after the massacre happens, everybody, including Jim Jr. and Stephen, that survived the massacre in Georgetown, they're literally held by police and FBI and CIA and officials.
Right.
Because they're now considered murderers.
Right. And then to fast forward, like I've seen the monument and everything they put in California with them, the survivors, and just it is so just.
Well, there's a whole Jonestown Institute.
Yeah.
Where you can, I mean, there's so much.
Yes.
Because there's so much that went into this. I mean, politicians were players. You had Rosalind Carter. You had Jimmy Carter. You had George Moscone.
Yeah.
You had Harvey Milk.
Jimmy's wife.
You had Willie Brown, who was supposed to die. So we have a whole episode on Harvey Milk and George Moscone. Willie Brown, who was on that board of officials,
which is a weird fucking conspiracy.
So much, yeah. I mean, I don't believe that the killer of those two people had anything to do with that. Yeah. But it was just very coincidental. Yeah. It was very coincidental.
You play in politics because he was playing politics. He was playing religion. He was playing people. And
absolutely.
Just so
he
many
was very much into politics, and he was looking to be like, he was looking to run for government officials as well.
And the tie-in,
but then the bullshit came out about him. He's like, I gotta go. I gotta skedaddle. I gotta get out of here. Right. I gotta go 6,000 miles away
and they were
to the
supposed
jungle.
to go to Russia, or they were supposed to go to Cuba, and we don't know what's really happening. And they had these crazy practices on suicide before they actually committed all the
White Knights. White Knights. He got them. He was conditioning them. And he had actually been in bed with one of the Black Panthers officials also. And definitely read those books. Road to Jonestown, Raven, or listen to them on audiobook like I did. You will be absolutely riveted. Like I was. I mean, I cannot rave about them much.
We're horrified,
riveted, everything, fascinated as well.
What can conspire on and transpire of using power, and you get more of it, and
religion.
You get enough money, and you can get a group of people behind you.
And he picked the perfect group of people, which was the oppressed and the downtrodden.
There you go.
Just he was like, this is who. And I do believe in the beginning he literally wanted to do good for these people.
Good. We were on Team Jim.
And then he said, "Oh, I can do more.
Yeah,
I can do this. I can make them do whatever I want them to do."
Yeah,
literally,
for sure.
It's just at that point it gets really scary. Do not, listeners. If we, like Jesse said in another episode, if we just reach 100 of you guys, don't fall for shit like this.
No.
Because I believe that there might be another cult rising, because look at everything our country is going through now.
It's a circle. It happens,
Yeah. And the 70s were really a breeding ground for that type of...
We're in the cusp right now into so much propaganda. And they're swaying people left and right. No matter what, do not feed into it.
Mm-mm.
Wait and see the outcome, and then try to come up from it, because... Do not let them sway you, dude.
Just you survive at your house. Don't try to...
And be the great person you can be. We love you all, and we will see you guys next Friday. Check out all of our stuff, and thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you guys then.
Bye.